Shalom everyone, this is Rabbi Allen, and I am here this week to go through one more Torah portion, this weekly portion of the Torah, and show you where we will see Messiah Yeshua in our weekly portion. This week is Beha'alotcha, when you set up, meaning having to do with setting up the menorah in the temple. Let me just mention before we get to it, last week we had some problems downloading our video. It was on YouTube and it's still on YouTube, but we didn't get it onto one of our Facebook pages. So last week's portion is Naso. Naso is take a census. And so what I'm going to do is, I'm going to below our description where it says show more, I'm going to try to put the link for last week's portion. So if you want to see not only today's reading, but you want to see last week's if you missed it, you can go down below and we'll have the link there to the YouTube from last week's Yeshua in the Torah. So, our reading this week is Numbers 8:1 through 12:16, and the corresponding Haftarah portion is Zechariah 2:14 through 4:7. In the Hebrew, in the English version, it is Zechariah 2:10 through 4:7. So, in this week's portion, we see a few things spoken about. And at first glance, they may not really seem to be related, but if we look at them closely, we see that they're all related, and when you put them all together as a picture, they are going to show you a very special picture, and that picture is Messiah, and that Messiah, in fact, is Yeshua. And so, in the portion this week, it is, of course, when you set up the menorah. The menorah is the light, the ner tamid, that was to be eternally lit, and it was to be the light source, the only light source when the priests would go into the temple, and so it would sort of direct them into the way of where the Holy of Holies on the other side of the menorah would be. Also in this portion, this week, we read about God telling about the cloud and the fire that followed the Israelites through the wilderness. Also, we are reading about the second Passover and how God wants Israel to celebrate the second Passover. So we are now exactly 1 year after the Exodus. And so we have the menorah, we have the pillar of light and fire, and we have the Passover. And as I said, they're really all related, although at first glance they may not seem to be related. So first of all, let's look at Numbers 9:16 through 26, and I'm going to read a few of the selected verses of it. So it was always the cloud covered the tabernacle by day and the appearance of fire by night. Whenever the cloud was taken up from above the tabernacle, after that, the children of Israel would journey. And as long as the cloud stayed above the tabernacle, they remained encamped. So it was when the cloud was taken up in the morning, then they would journey. And so there was this cloud by day, and at night it appeared to be fire. Now, of course, we look at it as being really a wonderful light source that they had, and also, in a way, it kept them, it gave them some warmth, I would imagine, at night, because in the wilderness it gets pretty cold. But here's what we just read. When the cloud would move, the children of Israel would move, and they would move through the wilderness. When the cloud would rest and stay, then the children of Israel would encamp there, and they wouldn't leave until the cloud started moving again. And so this was God giving Israel the directions to stay or to go, or to stay or to go. Okay, so again, we have the menorah, we have the fire and cloud, we have the tabernacle, and we have the Passover. And of course, when we have the Passover, it was understood that it was through the blood of the Passover lamb that allowed them to exodus the land of Egypt and to make their way to the promised land of Israel. And so now let's bring in Messiah Yeshua. And I'm going to read, this is one of the things that Yeshua said about him being a light to the world. He said, I am the light of the world. Whoever follows me will never walk in darkness, but will have the light of life. This is just one verse that I'm reading. There are many verses where Yeshua spoke about him being the light of the world. There were Jewish texts in the scriptures. It talked about that the light came out of the darkness and that those who followed the light would have life. And so we know that Yeshua proclaimed to be the light of the world. And so now we see the eternal light that led the priests into the Holy of Holies to do the sacrifices. We see the cloud of the pillar of cloud and fire that led the Israelites to the physical land of Israel. And we also know that Yeshua, the light of the world, a greater light even than the eternal light, a greater light than even the fire that was above the Israelites. But he would be the light of the world, and through Yeshua, all of us are led to God's everlasting kingdom. And so Yeshua is the eternal light. He was and he will always be. He existed before time. And he will always be with us in the everlasting kingdom. And so Yeshua is the ultimate Ner Tamid, the ultimate eternal light. So I hope this week we had a wonderful opportunity to see Yeshua in the Torah portion this week. If you'd like, you can share this with friends and family. You can cut and paste the address above, or you can go to the Facebook and you can share it on your Facebook. You can subscribe to my channel, Rabbi on the Fly, and you'll have access to all of the videos that I have produced of Yeshua in the Torah. And also when you subscribe, there's a little bell, and you can click that bell, and if you're on your computer during the day or whenever, you'll get a little bell sounding whenever I put on my weekly videos. So, once again, last week's portion should be, hopefully, because I don't know, I'm going to try as soon as we finish this video when I post it on YouTube, I'm going to try and put in the description of last week's Torah portion of Yeshua in the Torah. And so, until next week, this is Rabbi Allen, and I am bidding you shalom, shalom.